Hey, what's happening out there, everyone? Remo back. We are out on the new Highway Haulin 3 map. Haven't named it yet, so throw some ideas out there. I've had a few so far. I'm going to kind of make a pile of them, and we'll see what this ends up being called. We're going to start off kind of in town, a little bit beside what we saw in the last video, which is kind of a rail yard. Going to throw an airport in on the other side of the map as well. So, two locations that are going to be involved in some cargo moving in and out. We're just going to do kind of a tour around. I'm probably, as you can see by the start of the video, I'm about halfway finished kind of building the world. Now, mind you, if you look around, there isn't much there but buildings. So I haven't really started to add the little stuff in. I usually do that in a process as I get things laid out and I figure out where everything's going to be. What we're going to do today is we're going to check out some of the back roads. One of the watch points, we're going to drag this trailer to, drop it off there, come back through, and go down and have a look around the fuel refinery area, which again is going to be full of a few tasks getting that built up. What I'm going to do to start with when I release this map is probably put some loading areas in on the single map that will have to be opened when I get the region stuff going. I wasn't going to release this map by itself right away, but I think I will, just to let everyone out and have some fun. And again, this map is in general going to be a lot of paved roads like this, various sizes, and then the dirt roads you're going to see are going to be the other half. So there's going to be some trails. As you'll see, we're going to get into a little rock crawling when we go check out this watch point area. But the vast majority of this is going to be about logistics. It's going to be about running the big, the big highway trucks, not as much with off-road trucks, but really trying to make a world that feels a little more lived in. I've tried to use a lot more of the NPCs. If you look around in little areas, I know it's going to get repetitive. It's the same with the 5 car models we have to kind of lay around town, but I'm going to use them up and try to make everything look just a little bit more lived in. These highways are hopefully going to be fairly easy to drive with a bit of speed. There are vehicles that are better than others. As I've said many times, when I set up vehicles for a highway hauling kind of map, I like John Hot Rod's cheater tires are much better on asphalt. So I usually use setups like that when you're doing some asphalt driving, but I figured mixing in this much back road, and you can see this stuff's gonna not be super flat, but it's gonna be fairly easy driving. Should be a lot of fun to try out a whole bunch of different vehicles, as these regions always have been. Now, one thing I've seen a lot of in the comments over the last video there was people really, you guys want a lot of recovery missions, and don't worry, I got you covered. There's going to be at least, I would expect 8 to 10, maybe a bit more. The problem is you get too many going on, you run out of, first of all, good reasons to recover, and second of all, it just kind of saturates the map with vehicles. So usually I shoot 8 to 10. Now keep in mind that a good chunk of the tasks are going to either have trailers involved, so there's 2 recoveries, and I'll even sneak in maybe a third vehicle that fell off the trailer or some cargo to pick up in a few of them. So be a few multi-stages. You can just see there's a bit of a factory started back there. I think it's going to be concrete, which my future plans for stuff like that is in the region, you're going to have to go to another map, haul some material back over to open that loading area, and then you're going to be using that cargo in around this map to start with in terms of building houses, upgrading factories, a bunch of little stuff like that. So keep in mind, this very first map out by itself is going to be quite a bit different than what the region version is going to be. It's going to look the same, but it's going to play a lot different. Here's just another back road that I've started. I really haven't built much further than down there, but we're gonna go check have a look at a couple of the little cottages that are in around the lake up in here. So this is kind of one of those ones that'd be kind of a tough little trail. I mean, I have a hunt camp that we go to that's quite a ways back down a logging road, so you definitely don't bring a car. This is going to be that same kind of feel where it's a bit of a tough road to get in there. Probably have a few missions to either bring stuff down or out of these areas. I think there's 6 or 8 little cottages in around here, and if nothing else, it's kind of a fun role play experience to be able to set up a home base or maybe a destination run when there's more maps out to do some camping. That's another thing. There is going to be some camp areas. I'll probably put one on this map that will be a few tasks and stuff, but as the other maps come around, which I'm almost positive I'm going to go for 4, there'll be more to do and more areas to go to. So you can see just a few cottages in or out around the lake here, and there are small roads to get to them. So we'll just spin back around and head back out to the main road. What I'm really doing right now is just a quick run through to see how things are looking in game. It's very different from editor to in game, so it's always nice. You know, I try to just get out there and make sure things look good. Roads are flat, there's the right amount of bumpiness, just to get a feel of everything is going the way I want it to, and it has that proper look and feel in game. So that's why I take you around kind of once a week to see what I've been working on and how things are going. As you can see, it's not going to be flat roads. Again, they're not going to be super tough roads on this map, but it's all about logistics. It's all about big hauls. Gonna work in a bunch of the big trailers and cargo and boilers and some of the new cargo as well. So any ideas you have or missions or, you know, specific areas, I've had a little discussion over email with one of my followers here, Enrico, that he was talking about maybe adding in a big warehouse like I have in the Aussie region, and maybe having stuff inside the warehouse and a loading dock, so you actually have to physically use a vehicle to bring it out of the warehouse because it would be up in the air. You couldn't get a truck into it, although I'm sure you could figure out a way if you wanted to. And, you know, maybe do some cargo moving like that. So it was something that I was definitely going to explore. I have set up an email that anyone can, you know, shoot me some ideas or pictures of issues and stuff, because that's always been a pain in the butt, is communication that way, and you can't put pictures on mod.io and stuff to show me issues. So anyways, I'll link the email down below. If you got ideas or you just want to kind of chew on stuff about maps and that, shoot me an email too. Try and get back to you. I have been fairly busy, but you know, I do my best to keep up with shooting back comments and all that. It takes more time than you'd think, honestly, but I do try to read them all. I may not get back to them all. I'll try to hit the old heart button there and just to acknowledge that I did look at it, but just keep in mind your comments do not go unnoticed even if I don't get back to you. You know, the ideas, I take screenshots of ideas that y'all throw down there in the comments and just try to work it into the map. So remember, we work together on this stuff. It makes the whole thing a lot more fun. You get what you want. I get a little more motivation building, and I love the challenges that come with the ideas you throw out there. I mean, the game's not always capable of everything that we want, but it's worth throwing it down there, and I'll let you know if I can figure it out. And there's a lot of things I didn't think I could do that I did figure out just purely by trying to make the ideas work, because some of the stuff is pretty cool, and it just, again, makes the region, the map, so much more fun when everybody has a part in it. I don't know what everyone's take on it. I was thinking about starting up a Patreon again, or maybe do the YouTube membership. Let me know if that's something anyone would be interested in. I mean, I don't do this to make money, but it is nice to get a little bit from my little YouTube channel and donations. Enrico's been fantastic and really supported me, and you know, it ebbs and flows, and I get it. Times are tough right now. I'm going to keep doing this regardless of what I make on it or not, but you know, honestly, I make between $30 and $50 maybe a month with YouTube ad revenue and that, so you know, it's a nice little something for the time I put in. Truthfully, I just love building these maps, and I probably won't ever stop. But if anyone does want to help me out and you'd be interested in something like that, it's definitely something I would look at again, but just kind of feeling it out. Let me know what you think. So you can see we built in a little rock crawling in this area. We're having some trouble with this silly trailer too, which is why we're going to leave it at the campsite. I'm going to have a few more areas like this around too. Little trails with some rockiness. All the swamps are going to be mud filled and ready for some adventuring. We'll probably have a few recovery missions in some of those swamps off maybe the steep sides of the road and things like that. I will make sure I put in a lot of little trails like this around, so if you want to just kind of do some, you know, off-roading, driving around, just adventuring a bit, there'll be that too. I mean, the highway Haulin regions are always about variety. Having a tough time with this trailer, I'll tell you. You know, if there's one thing I could change, it would be the stupid winch grabbing the small bushes first. My goodness, if the devs would just listen to us, if they could somehow code in to take a stronger tree first. Like, I doubt it's a coincidence that it grabs bushes, and the console players must drive you nuts. At least PC, we have a mouse that we can override the chaos. But when you got to use the buttons to pick through all the winch points, ugh, I feel sorry for you, I really do. It's the one thing I hate the most about this game. Dragging stupid bushes just like this. Anyways, it got us out. And we're here. Some mercy, I left the rocks a little further away from the campsite so you can finally roll up. Now there are going to be some individual sites like this laying around the map that you can find. Thinking probably the watch points will all be little campsites. And again, tried to set it up like you're living in it for some pictures and stuff. You see, we got a pretty nice view up here. We're going to carefully back this trailer over here and drop it off and hopefully get back through that trail a little bit easier than we did with the dragging this thing behind us. I imagine we will. Yeah, we're already pushing through a little bit easier. It's a fun little truck. It's from 7BBBBBBB. Obviously, a little Toyota. It's just come out in the last few days, and I like it. Believe it was a commission build for somebody. It's always, and I'm sure most of you agree, it's fun to have you know, vehicles a little closer to what you see on the road in Snowrunner 2. It's fun to have all of them, really. Mud trucks, side-by-sides, all that stuff, ATVs. I mean, we're pretty lucky. The just sheer amount of mods that we have to play with for this game. Guess I should mention too, I mean, I've been watching the expedition stuff, and I haven't seen any real progress on the mod functioning in terms of missions working and approval for different consoles and stuff. So at this point I'm thinking I'm just gonna probably stay away from expeditions for a bit. I already have a couple of maps that need missions on them that I'm kind of holding off until things work properly, but I haven't seen the islands get approved on anything other than, pretty sure it's just Xbox and PC. Maybe Switch? I'm not sure. But it's a lot of effort to put in to not work for everyone, so nothing against expeditions, just patiently waiting for it to come around. And there's a lot more here playing Snowrunner. I mean, in all reality, Snowrunner is a million times more versatile of a game. First of all, it's been in development for so long. There's so much more in terms of assets and missions and stuff. And just the way it works is a lot more versatile. You can do just about anything with Snowrunner, and Expeditions is a very focused game, which I believe they made intentionally that way, but at least for map modding, she's a tough one right now, Expeditions. But I will be back as soon as they get things working properly. Tried to put in a few of these viewpoint kind of areas on the roads and stuff. Get your bearing and have a nice visual. And overall, I'm pretty happy with the back roads. I might bumpy them up a little bit more. I don't know. Let me know what you guys want with the road conditions. I mean, I am making this map the most lived in one. The next 3 maps are all going to take you in a different direction, different terrain, but it's going to be a lot tougher stuff. Probably more focused on setting up roads and bridges and stuff to get to areas. Like the next map is going to be a full logging focused map. You're going to head off of this map over to get logging, which is going to be opening up all the wood stuff. And then you're going to have to build some infrastructure over there, like a setup for a shop, and bring some fuel over, and just, you know, kind of build up the company. Bring it back over to the lumber mill here, and then you're going to have all your planks and stuff. Again, same with the concrete going to a pit on one of the other maps. And then when you come back here, you're going to build up the houses and the factories and so on. So perhaps, you know, you only get part of the cargo until you upgrade the factory to get the other cargo. So I'm really going to try to work some progression and some fun and symmetry into the missions is the plan with this one. Just take my time. I've learned a lot over the years. Sometimes when I check out my other maps, kind of makes me laugh. You learn every single one. You learn better ways to do stuff, better ways to build. And there's things I do differently on the other ones, but I'm not going to go back and change them because it was kind of a moment in time, and geez, to even figure out what I did on the last map. That's the thing, you've got to plan 100 things around this map, and you know, when you're laying out factories, you got to plan different routes that players are going to take and try to account for different play styles. It's really quite a lot to think about when you're building these worlds. And again, I've just learned it through hard knocks over the years. Denial and error, Ricky would say. Anyways, this is the fuel factory. It's going to be the end of the video here. It's mainly, you've seen what I've been working on this week. Again, very empty here, just the general layout. There's going to be a whole bunch of crap laying around and all that kind of stuff coming up. This is going to be a loading area for the fuel factory, so let me know what you think. Ideas down below. As usual, appreciate the support so much. Take it easy, guys.